So far, we're able to get data from the user, put it in a data transfer object, and send it to the controller. Let's extend this and add actions, because at the moment, we are not doing anything with the data. We're just sending it back to the user in raw format. But let's extend that to use actions. The way actions will work is it's just going to be another generic PHP class that will have one method, and we'll call that method run. In fact, if you are creating your own actions, you can call it whatever you want. But in this case, we are just going to call it run. And that run method is what we are going to execute to do whatever we want to do with the data. So to create actions, I'm just going to add a folder to the app directory here, and I'm going to call it actions. And in this case, let's start with the register user action so that we can pass through the data for user registration. So I'm going to create a subfolder called auth, and you do see that it has a similar structure as the data folder here. So I'm going to put that in an auth subdirectory, and here I'm just going to call it register user action.php. Again, this is another basic PHP class, and I'm going to generate a namespace for that. And we just say class register user action, and it's not going to extend anything because we are not using any third-party package for this. It's just our class we are creating for handling our database interactions. Now let's put in the run function. So public static function run, and in this case we want to pass in the register user data as our input to this function. And this is where we are going to create the user in the database. Let's pull this class in. To remind ourselves, it contains the fields of data coming from the request. So we can directly access it here. And you can start to see the advantage of using a data transfer object like this. Because if you were just to send in a request object, you'd have to go back to the request validation or to the front end and figure out what data was being sent through. But because we are using this data transfer object, we can directly click on that and see the fields that we have available. So let's just say user equals, here it becomes a regular eloquent query or eloquent operation to create an object. So create, and we just provide the fields that we want to create. And the password will be a hash of the password coming from the request. So data, and you do see we get some auto completion here of the properties of that class. Now, after the registration, we want to broadcast Laravel's generic registered event. This is not an event that we created. It comes with Laravel, and it just tells everyone listening in the system that a new user has been created. So we just broadcast that, and if you wanted to listen for this event to send an email to the user or to do whatever, you can do that by just listening to this event. And then we return the user that was just created. So that is all that the action is going to do. All the database interaction is done in this action class. And back in the controller, we can now call that action and say user, because it does return the user that's created, and we call it register user action and the run function. And there we are passing through the data. And when that's done, we can return a response to the front end. In this case, let's just return the user that was created with the 201, which is a created response code. So if everything works the way we expect it to, we can go back to the front end and just quickly try to create the user by going back to the register route. If I click on send, now the user gets created. We see that we get the record from the database with the created at timestamps and the updated at timestamps. And if you go back to the database, refresh, we see that record created in here, which is exactly what we need. So you see how the whole structure is going to work for us. Everything that needs to go to the database, will basically create actions for it. Now, just like we created a console command to generate the data classes, we want to also create another command to generate the actions. And we are going to do that in the next lesson.